we're going to head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
From everything you've been hearing about Shedeur and how they don't really feel like he's progressing or whatever. So here's my question. Gosh forbid, if anything happens to Dillon Gabriel and maybe Joe Flacco can't play, do you think they bring Bailey Zappe up ahead of Shedeur? Be an interesting conversation. Just want to hear your thoughts. Go Browns. From everything you've been hearing
As always,
about
appreciate
Shedeur
all
and how
of
they don't
the
really feel
voicemails.
like he...
So, Lance, when you look at that, I think if both Flacco and Gabriel go down, I think it would be Shedeur.
Well, first thing is, if they both go down, you're in trouble because pass protection is terrible, right? Because they're both taking big hits, right? That would be my first thought. But yeah, we don't know who's taking the reps. Obviously, the thing that was, this whole narrative that Shedeur Sanders can't read things and do things, that's wrong. It was pass protection at Colorado, and he got bad habits with his feet, and they couldn't do a lot progression-wise because they had to get rid of the football so fast. But no, I think it would be him. I think you can see he studies. He seems to have a really good relationship with his teammates. Obviously, we don't know how he's been practicing. We don't get to see that anymore. But when I was watching him every day at camp, and I went to every single day, I was very impressed with his when he got his chance. He did a nice job. You can also see some of the things he really struggled with, and some of the progression. So to say he's developmental, that's not a bad thing at all. And sometimes those quarterbacks, if you look at Aaron Rodgers, how long he sat behind Brett Favre, that can be a really beneficial thing. And then you work out your footwork and things like that. But if those two went down, I would assume it would be Shedeur Sanders. I don't know who's taking those reps, but I'd be shocked, and that would tell me he's really regressed in his progression if Bailey Zappe was to go in.
Yeah, and the narrative that you hear, because Kevin Stefanski came out and said Joe Flacco would be the second quarterback, that they weren't moving the young guys up. And people are reading too much into that. What that tells you is they're making this move to Dillon Gabriel because they think he gives them a better chance to win than Joe Flacco, period.
And that's it. And the thing I like about it is that sometimes you don't like what Kevin Stefanski said, but it's still all about winning. At least it is in his what he's saying and what they're doing. And the fact that Joe Flacco is still backing up has to do with, I think the ceiling may be higher. A lot of people think the ceiling's way higher for Shedeur Sanders than Dillon Gabriel. I don't feel that way. There are some. I think they're both very good quarterbacks, and I think they both have a very good upside. They both do little different things, but I don't think it's way higher. But I think Dillon Gabriel, because of all the games he played in college, I think he's more pro ready right now. And I think with the pass protection and Kevin wanting to run some of his boots and waggles and getting some of that empty and get rid of the football with quick decisions, I think that's why That's why they're moving to Dillon Gabriel. And I think this is going to sound interesting, but I think the longer Shedeur sits, the more successful he's going to be when he does get his chance.